Welcome to a Telltale Books video. I'm Greg. I'm going to be continuing my Theodore Sturgeon series, reading everything I can get my hands on by Theodore Sturgeon in order of publication. And I'm up to number 4, a short story titled Watch My Smoke. This was published with the McClure Newspaper Syndicate on March 13th, 1939. And it's part of a series of non-science fiction stories that Sturgeon wrote before he started publishing any science fiction or fantasy. Watch My Smoke is about a pilot flying an airplane. He's up in the air, not sure just how high, but he notices smoke in his cockpit. And he's looking around and he realizes that the smoke is getting worse and it's coming from the tail section of his airplane. And he doesn't think he has time to get his parachute on and bail. So what he does is he takes the plane down and lands in water. The story has a little bit of a twist ending. I won't spoil it for you. It's a very good story. It's very well written. I mean, it's a really short story, hardly more than flash fiction. But the writing in this is excellent. The ending is ironic. The situation is tense and very well described. You really get the feel of being in the cockpit with this pilot. You really get the feeling of being there with this pilot, and you know that the story isn't a huge story. I would not call this a top tale, but I would recommend it because it does show what I think is the earliest so far strength of a really, really excellent writer. And you can find this story if you can find this book. It's now out of print, but I believe you can get it as an ebook. And there are used copies out there, but they tend to be pricey. This is The Ultimate Egoist, Volume 1 of the Complete Stories of Theodore Sturgeon, published by North Atlantic Books, which so far all of the Sturgeon that I've talked about with Telltale has come from this volume. I think there's 12 or 13 volumes to this series before they ran out of stories. If you love Theodore Sturgeon, you have to have this whole series of his complete short stories. It's essential to your library. And if you love Theodore Sturgeon, you really need to read this story too, because it is very good. So, have you already read Watch My Smoke? Leave me your comments. What do you think of it? Leave other comments about early Theodore Sturgeon work. And please like the video, subscribe to our channel if you're not already, and come on back for a lot more Theodore Sturgeon. His next one is going to be another in this series for the McClure Syndicate, a short story called The Other Cheek. I hope you'll join me for that and all the other stories and authors that I talk about.